as long as we start filling those buckets appropriately, and I encourage you to do that systematically day in and day out, then you're going to be able to set yourself up for a long time. 5 buckets. So as you can see, I like to highlight things, write notes so I can go back and get them. 5 buckets. So he said, we usually start out our professional life acquiring knowledge, and then the knowledge is applied. We call it skill. We then have knowledge and skills. You become professionally valuable to others, and then that creates your network. And then consequently, when you have the knowledge, skills, and network, you then have access to resources that expands, which then undoubtedly will then earn a reputation. So I was having a good conversation with some of our teams here today, like our internal team, sales, marketing, and I was communicating with them about all of us that come into real estate investing have to focus on these five buckets, and we have to do it in such a way where we go from one to the next. So in this chapter, he talks about there's a specific way that you have to fill these buckets. It's not like you don't get to just jump. And when somebody jumps from and I'll walk you through those buckets, but when somebody jumps from say 1 to the 5th bucket, eventually things will crumble because they don't have the other ones supported. So when we talk about like what or acquiring knowledge, a lot of us are still in that acquiring knowledge phase. Now it could be in different forms, right? I'm acquiring knowledge in order to grow and scale companies. You guys are acquiring knowledge in order to be able to go buy real estate. We all are still, like, all these buckets are obviously going to be, segmented depending upon where you are in your current business journey as well. So today is going to be about acquiring more knowledge, which is going to allow you to go out there and build your skills. So once you pour enough into a bucket that has enough knowledge, now you can start pouring into the second bucket, which is your skills. So you have to have the knowledge in order to produce the skills. And then once you have those skills, then you become valuable enough to have a network, because then people come to you for certain things. You then get a specialty, or you then contribute to a group of people known as a network where you provide them value, and then others provide you value as well. So then that's our third bucket. We then pour into our network because we have the skill sets and the knowledge to then contribute. Now, once we contribute, then we tend to have access to resources. This is important because in our world, in real estate investing, if you're not doing creative financing, you typically have to have access to resources day one while you are trying to produce the knowledge and the skill sets. But that's why a lot of people fail, because they then go get a network per se and go get resources, but they still don't have the knowledge or the skill sets to contribute. So then once we have that network, now we can start pouring into our resource bucket. Maybe we can start acquiring resources, money, time, leads, people, JV partners, whatever that comes into the form of. And then finally, then that all starts to pour into your reputation. I mean, you see a lot of people that try to jump the entire bucket and go right to the 5th one, which is they go on social media and they start talking about all these awesome things, but they don't have the skills and knowledge, the resource, the network in order to support that reputation. So as long as we start filling those buckets appropriately, and I encourage you to do that systematically day in and day out, then you're going to be able to set yourself up for a long time. Now, each and every one of us, it may take different time frames in order to fill up all those buckets, but eventually those buckets will be filled in this current transaction or current real estate market for you, which then that's when you start to see a lot of your business then grow and scale exponentially, right? Because now you have the resources and the network to be able to acquire more real estate deals more quickly.